Hey guys, Brittany here. Hope you're having a great night. Just to get the elephant out of the room before we start, if you guys see this hand at all, Austin decided that my fingernails needed to be fancier right before the call. That's what's going on there. But I have some notes that I want to share with you guys. I originally wrote them a few months back. I did a call for just my level one business builders, the people that I personally sponsored who were the highest ranks who are working the business really hard. And I was looking over those notes the last couple of weeks and just really felt led to do a call for the whole team that covers these notes. I've added a few things, changed a few things a little bit. So if you were on that original call, hopefully you'll still get something out of this meeting tonight too. But I just wanted to open it up to everybody on the team. We have so many business builders on the team now. This month has been amazing. We've had incredible growth the last few weeks. It's really been picking up this year. So it's been so exciting to see. I know so many people are working so hard. And that's why I wanted to share these particular notes with all the business builders on the team tonight. If you're new and you're tuning in and some of this sounds a little bit intimidating, don't worry. You can go at your pace. Your upline is there to help you. You don't have to feel like you are running this huge organization right off the bat. You'll grow slowly and organically, but hopefully you'll be able to take a few notes away from the night's call as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I've called this training call Working Your Business Like a CEO. What does that mean and why does it matter? I talk to people sometimes and they feel really frustrated because they aren't making the money that they wanted. They aren't getting the income out of Plexus that they had hoped when they joined. And usually when we dig deeper into those conversations, we're realizing that there's just a few things that need to be tweaked, whether it's how they present themselves, how they share Plexus, how they manage their time, things like that. I've heard it said before that hobbies cost you money, businesses make you money. So if you are working this business like a hobby, I mean, hobbies are fun, right? You get enjoyment out of them. There's something you love to do in your spare time and those little extra minutes that bring you pleasure. But it's something that you spend money on, right? It's not something that brings you income in. So this is kind of just a readjustment and working the business like a business to make real serious income. A lot of this stuff is stuff that I've learned and the reasons why Eric and I were both able to quit our jobs at 31 and can do what we want now. Because we learned that if we want to take this business seriously, we have to really work it like a business. So a couple of different ways you're going to just present yourself as a CEO. It has to do with how you act, how you work your business, and how you present yourself. All those things matter, and I'll get into that a little more as we go along. The first thing that CEOs do is they have boundaries. One of those boundaries is location. Where do you work your business? Do you have a certain place in your house that when you're there, you're like, okay, this is my business time. This is where I'm going to work my business. As you can see, I'm on my bed. I don't have a fancy office. If you do, then that's great. One day I will, but we're still in our little starter house, so I don't have that yet. But I have certain times of day where I've got a bookshelf that has all my business stuff on that side of the bed, and my nightstand over here has things I'm working on right now. A book that I'm reading on leadership. It's got my day planner. It's got things like that right here next to my bed. So this is my station. When I get up in the morning, I usually have about 2 hours or so where I work my business. In the afternoons, when I do calls or I'm messaging people or doing things like this is where I work my business. Every once in a while, it'll be downstairs on the couch, but that's rare, so I like to have my things close to me. And our daughter also knows that the bookshelf over there on the nightstand right next to me are areas that she's not allowed to mess with. She unorganizes everything, because I'm sure you guys know most toddlers do, but those are areas that I've set boundaries. This is mommy's work stuff, because I need to know that when I sit down to do my work, even though it's on my bed, that the things that I need are where I need them to be. That way I can be my most productive self. If every time you sit down to work your business, you're like, it's chaos and things are a mess and stuff everywhere, you're trying to get yourself organized just to start, then that is a waste of time. So it's great if you can to have, even if you put stuff in like a basket and slide it under your bed, or have it up on above your refrigerator if you work in a dining room or something like that, just an area that's just your work stuff, where that when you get that out, you know what's there, you know what order it's in, and you know what you need to do. That way you can get your things done. So the first boundary is location. The second boundary is with your time. Different people set business hours differently. Some people say these are the hours, like 9 to 3, I'm working my business. I like to have shorter hours, shorter business hours, and more family time, so I work mine a little bit differently. Just how I work my time. Every Sunday afternoon, I know you guys have probably heard this before, but every Sunday afternoon, I get my day planner out. I see where my calls are scheduled during the week. I don't ever do more than 4 a day. I usually try to do 2 or 3, and they're 30 minutes each. That's it every day. And if I already have 3 scheduled, I put an X at the top of that day. So I know, even just looking really quick, I can see all the days X's are full, so I need to say, okay, these days are open, so what days are open? So I look at my calls first, because to me those times are non-negotiable. If I've agreed to be on a call with somebody or for somebody, it doesn't matter what comes up. That's my time that I've set aside for my business. I need to take that seriously. And it's important for other people to see that you take your business seriously. If people are always asking you, oh, do this, do that, and you're like, oh yeah, I have something, but I can change it, then they don't see you taking your business seriously. And if you don't take it seriously, again, they're not going to take it seriously. They have to see that you have boundaries in your business. You have to learn to say no. If you have something scheduled on a day where your friend asks you to lunch, but you've already had that time scheduled for something for your business, say, I'm sorry, that day's not going to work for me. I have a team call scheduled then. I can do it the next day. Or what other days do you have available? But it's important for your non-Plexus friends to see that you take your business seriously. And you have a responsibility to your team, to your family, to take it seriously as well. Not recently, it was several months ago, somebody at church said something and it was like, oh, you don't really do anything, do you? You're just at home all day long. And at first I was offended. I was like, wait a second, my team did over $1 million in sales this year. We have over 1,200 people. Like, that's pretty serious. So why does he think that I just am home all day long, not doing anything? But then I realized that it's probably my fault. It's how I'm presenting myself. Am I presenting myself as, oh yeah, I can do whatever, my time is whatever? Yeah. No. Because if that's your attitude, and sometimes we are guilty of that, but we think it's a good thing. We think if we tell people, oh yeah, I can do whatever I want, whatever, we think, well, then they see it as time freedom. But really, they see it as, oh yeah, you just have this little side gig, it doesn't matter. So when we say, no, that's my business time, they say, oh, wait a second, that is serious, and they're going to take you more seriously. They're going to take your Plexus post more seriously. They're going to take you talking about your business more seriously. So I think sometimes we think that if we treat it flippantly, that it's a good thing because it shows our freedom, but really it's just coming across to people as it doesn't matter very much, and that's not how we want to come across to people at all, right? So you really need to be careful how you present yourself, and how you manage your time has a lot to do with that. It's okay to say no, and we need to say no. We need to know our limits. If you have people asking you to do all kinds of stuff and it's going to interfere with your family time or your business time, it's okay to say no. No can be very freeing and can lead to a lot more peace in your life. The more of a leader you become, the more people will see you as a leader and will ask you to do a lot of other things. In our church, Eric and I get asked to do stuff all the time. Director of the VBS, they ask us, that we said yes to. I'm on the ladies board, but they ask us to do all kinds of stuff. Things that we say, that's something the Lord's laid on our heart. Yes, we can do. That's a priority. We do. But if it's things that are going to, again, interfere with our family time, our business, then there's things that we can't do sometimes. And not just with church, with other things too. And we have to learn that as CEOs of our business, we have to learn to say no sometimes. Again, it's good for ourselves to see that we take it seriously, and it's good for other people. Okay, so my calls are my non-negotiable times. And then Eric and I say, okay, so what else do we want to do this week? Do we want to go, there's this really fun place they're called Crayon Panda. It's like an indoor play area for kids. We're like, okay, do we want to go to Crayon Panda what day this week? When we're going to the library? When we're going to the grocery store? And I'll put those on the schedule. Now I'm doing 6 fitness classes a week, which is insane. Now I have those on my schedule. So then I see, okay, what other time do I have in my day? And I usually will block about 2 hours. So whatever calls I have, an hour and a half in calls, and then 2 other hours I block a day just to work my business. And I'll go in a little bit later and talk about how I break that time down. But that's my non-negotiable business time. And then what that allows is for when it's my family time, I can be freer in my family time because I already have my business time scheduled and I know that I'm going to be organized during that time. So that way when I'm with my family, I don't have to be worrying about all the things I need to do and did I get everything scheduled and am I missing anything? Because I already have that time scheduled, I already know what's going on. So I can just be present with my family, and that has brought so much peace and it's really helped my family time to be so much more enjoyable as well. Let's see. Okay, so the next thing we have to have boundaries on are people, the people in our life. Look at the top 10 people that you spend time with, write them out, and put a plus or minus next to their name. If it's someone that is a minus, that means that someone where if you get off the phone with them, you just feel drained and discouraged, and no matter what, like somehow you just always are down when you talk to them. We actually were talking about this particular thing in our young adults Bible study with our group from church. And there was a lady who said that she had a friend, they've been friends for over 20 years, but every time she got off the phone with her, she was like angry and just in a bad mood and so upset. And she talked to her every day. And every day, and it didn't really click until, 20 years. And then all of a sudden one day she realized, I think this is a little bit of a toxic relationship. I just kind of have to put some distance between me and her. And she stopped talking to this friend every day. And it was about 3 days later, one of her kids said, Mom, what are you doing different? Like, you seem so much happier and you're so much nicer and you're in such a better mood. And she realized that she hadn't talked to this friend in 3 days. That was the first time in 20 years they hadn't talked every day. But it had changed her whole attitude. I'm not saying you need to cut those people out, but limit your time with them. The people where when you get done talking to them, you feel encouraged and you feel empowered, and they're people that fuel your dreams and feed your drive. Those are the people that you want to be spending more of your time with. They're the ones who believe in you and don't want to hold you back and want to see you go all the way. So sometimes you do have to set boundaries with the people that you spend time with as well. The next thing I want to talk about is accountability. We need to track our activity, and by writing down things in your day planner, that's going to help. I hear a lot of times people get on a call with me, a coaching call, and they're frustrated. They say, I'm working harder than ever and nothing's happening. I say, okay, so what are you doing? What are you doing? If you're working harder than ever, what does that mean? What does that look like? What are you doing? And usually it's just busy work that they're doing and not income producing. Because if you're working harder than ever, then eventually you'll start getting better results than ever, right? If you're doing everything you should be. So you need to track your accountability so you can tell, was I as productive as I thought, or was I just scrolling on Facebook or pinning stuff on Pinterest or scrolling through Instagram? Like, was I really productive? What did I actually accomplish in my day? What videos did I watch that I took great notes from? Who did I have great conversations about Plexus with? Who did I reach out to today? What was a really good Plexus post that I made today? Track your activity. The beginning of this year, I'm looking at it over here, I got a whiteboard. I'm really old school. You can do this Excel if you want, but I got a big whiteboard. And I got on calls. I did a post on my level 1 page who wants to be on the leaderboard. I set up calls with people, and I said, okay, what rank do you want to be at the end of this year? So let's say they said they wanted to be, I don't know, Ruby at the end of the year, 500 points. I said, okay, so right now you ended December at gold at 100 points. So you need 400 points between now and the end of the year. So we divided it up by 12 months and said, okay, this is how many points you have to increase every month between now and then to hit that goal by the end of the year. And then we broke it down further, whatever number that was. We said, okay, if you need this many points a month, and this is how many 1 through 3s you need to add to your team every month. And I'm keeping track. I'm messaging them middle of the month to say, okay, it's the middle of the month. You were, at the end of the month we said you needed 5 new level 1 through 3s. How's that going? Are you on track? The end of the month we see where the points are. Did you meet your goal? I've had several this month, if you're watching my news feed, that have met their goals for this month. Started the year off right. They actually exceeded their goals that we had in their board. So those I'll go write down all the numbers of where the points ended. If it's someone who was a little bit less, if their points were less than they wanted, then I'll get a call with them beginning of February and we'll say, okay, let's reevaluate. What are some things you could have done a little bit differently in January to help you reach those goals? What are things that we need to improve on going forward? Just so I can have a visual to keep track and so they know. You need to know where you want to end up. That way you know what goals to set for yourself along the way and celebrate those goals. I'm celebrating the ones who met their goals this month just as if they had a promotion, posting graphics and encouraging them and being so excited, just as if they had an actual rank up. Because hitting those goals every month means they're on track to hit their promotion goals just like they wanted. So really track the activity, not just of you, but of those on your team as well. And let them know you're doing that. Have them be a part of that so that they know that you're going to hold them accountable and you know what they want. And that'll give you a great visual as a leader to make sure that people on your team aren't floundering and that you know what's going on with all those people. And you need to record your own activities. Write down, there's great IPA trackers. I've put several on the team page lately that you can just print out and just keep track. Okay, Monday, message 3 people, do 2 Facebook posts. It just has little checklists to do every day. And just say in your mind, I'm going to start every day with this, and then I'm not going to bed until it's done. If you have to stay up late, if you have to sit in your car during your lunch break at work, whatever you have to do to get your IPAs done, make sure that you are tracking your activity so that you can tell. Now, sometimes we get frustrated because we do a lot of work and we want the results now. Just realize you can't control what other people, how they respond. You can only control what you do, and never let their response distract you or get you off course from what you need to do. Just make sure that you are, doing your work and not letting anyone else hold you back. The results will speak for themselves over time. So just make sure you're doing what you need to do every day. You set the pace for your team. You can't just say, okay, guys, we need to add 5 new people this month, and then you add none. You can't say to your team, okay, I want 3 people to go silver this month, and then you not be working for gold or whatever promotion it is that you're working for. Anything that you want your team to do, you have to do it first. I know last year I kind of got stuck in manager mode. I went emerald, and in my mindset, I was like, okay, I met my big goal, so now I want to turn around and help everybody get here, which was good because I do want everyone here. But when I made that shift, I kind of stopped working my own business and stopped recruiting my own level 1s and getting my own new customers and just focused on everybody on my team. And when I did that, the momentum of the team came to a halt because I wasn't doing the stuff I was telling other people they needed to do. So of course they weren't going to do it either. But this month again, momentum's picked back up. I've got a couple new level 1s myself, new customers, things like that. So it does make a huge difference. You can't just say, I want a rock star to join my team. I want someone that's just going to join my team and really take off. That's what I need. I just need to find that person. You need to be that person. I know I've done a short video on this, so I'm not going to get into all that again. But somebody who is going to be super successful and really motivated to work the business does not want to join under somebody who's mediocre. So if you are posting on Facebook about how depressing your life is, or how inadequate you feel, or like drama. Maybe you're angry about something. People aren't going to want to join under that. They want to join under somebody who is doing the work and positive and passionate about what they do. So you need to make sure that what your attitude is also reflects that, because that's what's going to attract people to your team. You need to be that rock star first for other people to be attracted to you, who are going to take your business to the next level. The next thing that we are going to talk about are routines. It's really important to have some kind of routine. My routine changes a little bit every day, but again, I have it set on Sundays for the whole week. So I know going into the week what every day is going to look like. They say this has to do with cooking dinner, but if you wait till the end of the day to make a decision about what you're going to have for dinner, it's probably going to be unhealthy. Because if you wait till it's dinner time to say, oh, crap, I've got to figure something out, you're going to pick something quick and easy, right? And those things usually aren't very healthy. But if the beginning of the day you say, this is what we're having for dinner, this is what I need to start it, do I have all the ingredients? And you get that already set up in your mind the beginning of the day, when time comes to make it, you already know what you need to do, and it'll just get done because you've scheduled it, you've planned it. And so that's just a way of setting yourself up for success health-wise. You need to do the same for your business. You need to know going into every day. You need to make sure that we are proactive and not reactive. Today, during my 2-hour business block that I had somebody call me. Actually, I had 3 people call me. One was a number I didn't know, and the other 2 are people that I did know. But they weren't calls that I had set up. They weren't training calls. So I let those go to voicemail because I was working my business. I was messaging my potentials. I was leaving voicemails for my potentials, talking to my ambassadors that I already had down on my day planner I needed to talk to. So I wasn't going to take time away from working my business to answer my phone. I waited until my business hours were done to call those people back, because I didn't want to be reacted. I didn't want to be distracted from what I needed to do. I was in the groove. I was getting messages out and getting stuff that I needed to get done, and that would have been a distraction for me and taken away my business time. So you need to make sure that you work your business like that too. Don't get stuck. Don't scroll through Facebook. My rule for myself is I don't scroll through Facebook until my business is done. I will get on Facebook to message people and to post on the team page. And if I have something I need to look on the Jewel page for or whatever, like I use Facebook as a tool, but I never just sit and scroll through Facebook during my business time. And that's something that you just kind of have to learn to be disciplined with. If there's a favorite TV show that's on, but you haven't done your IPAs for the day, record it or miss it. You'll live. I promise. When I was first starting out and building my business, I didn't watch TV. I did the housework, I took care of my family, and I worked my business. And it was tiring, but it was worth it because now I have more freedom than I ever could have imagined. It's going to take discipline in your business. It's going to take time away from doing other things sometimes to get to where you want to be so you can have freedom. I traded a few hours earlier so I could have unlimited time now. And it was 100% worth it because now I don't have to miss time with my daughter. She doesn't have to go to daycare. So make sure that you have some kind of routine for yourself and don't let anything distract you from what you need to get done. Have power hours set, a couple power hours a week. I do one every day. Actually, I do 2 hours every day besides my calls that I have set up. And how you should break up that time. And this is something that the business world, the coaching world recommends. This isn't just something that I'm making up. This is something that has been taught to me by my coach. It makes a big difference with my business. But let's just say you have 1 hour every day for your power hours. This does not count team calls or training calls. This is just for you working your business. So the first half hour or the first 50% of your time, if it's 2 hours, it's an hour, you need to be working on your business, building relationships with your potentials, cold messaging your potentials, following up with your potentials, checking in with your customers, checking in with your new level 1 ambassadors, things like that. The first half, 50% of your time needs to be spent on your business, not on your level 2s, not on your level 5s, not to see how their customers are doing, not to respond to their questions, but to work on what's going to make you money, which is your customers, potential customers, and your level 1 potential ambassadors. The next 30% of your time, or if you're doing an hour, 20 minutes, should be spent on new ambassadors. Who are your new ambassadors? Who do you need to reach out to see how they're doing on the product, to see if they're doing their IPAs, to see if they have any questions about anything, to see how their business is coming along. The next 20% of your time is spent on building relationships and helping your new ambassadors. If you are new and you don't have any new ambassadors, spend that time watching a training video to help you get new ambassadors. Or check in with your upline to see if they have any tips for you. Don't wait for them to come to you. Go to your upline and say, what else can I be doing? What should I be doing? Guide me, teach me, give me your wisdom. Go to your upline every day and see what else you can do to grow your business. And the last 10% of your time, or 10 minutes, check in with your top leaders on your team. You'll know who they are because they're the ones with the highest CV, who are recruiting the most ambassadors. They're the ones that are building their businesses. So spend the last 10 minutes on your top people, seeing what they need, how you can help them, setting up calls with them, checking in, and running with those runners. You need to make your daily routines personal, bearable, memorable, duplicatable, and non-negotiable. Your goals are non-negotiable, right? So your business and how you work it should be non-negotiable too. The things you want to achieve are the things you want to achieve. The things on my dream board right there are non-negotiable to me. Taking my daughter to Disney World is non-negotiable. It's happening. And so how I work my business is non-negotiable because I'm going to make those happen for my family. And the last thing that CEOs take control of are deadlines. I read the quote recently, you can't walk a straight line without a fixed point. You not only have to know where you're going, you need a deadline for when you want to get there. You're meeting your friends for dinner. You don't say, oh, I'll be there sometime tomorrow night. No, they want to know what times. They know what time to expect you, right? So you know what time to leave and when you need to get ready. Because if you have to know what time you're meeting them so you can backtrack and say, again, what time do we need to leave? What time do I need to get ready? When does the sitter need to get here? And you have to know a timeline, right, for a deadline. The same with a research paper in school. You had to know when it was due, so you knew when you needed to start the book, when you needed to work on your outline and all that stuff. And it's the same with your business. If you have a goal that you want to reach, set a deadline or else you're not going to get there. It's not going to happen, I promise. So that's why with all my leaders, I said at the beginning of the year, where do you want to end this year? And then we backtrack. It is not too late to do that. This year is just starting. So get on a call with your upline. Say, this is where I want to end the year. Make sure you tell them your goals. You need to tell your upline what your goals are. Tell your family what your goals are. Claim your goals. Say, this is the rank I want to be by the end of the year. And then have them help you break it down every month. So you know every month I need to add 2 new level 1 through 3s or 7 new level 1 through 3s. Whatever it is that you are trying to achieve, have them help you break that down. That way every month they can be helping you, encourage you, and holding you accountable throughout the month. But you have to set a deadline or it's not going to happen. And the last thing I was going to talk to you about just for a second, I know I mentioned it a little bit earlier, is discipline. And I know that discipline is usually a word we don't like to hear. I know people are like, oh, I don't like authority, and discipline kind of goes along with that, right? It is really easy in this business to get lazy and distracted. Again, I'm home with my family all day long. It is really easy to get lazy and distracted. But you know what getting lazy and distracted gets us? Nothing. It gets us nothing. If I get lazy and distracted for too long, I'm going to have to go back to work. My husband's going to have to go back to work. We're going to have to put our daughter in daycare. So getting lazy and distracted is not an option for us. Only you can make this happen. Um, I think though that discipline in our business is actually a really good thing, because if we apply all these things, if we have again that time set aside in our schedules, 2 hours a day, then the other 22 hours a day we are free to just live and enjoy our time. If you have your things organized and have your set workplace set up so that when you sit down those 2 hours, your time, it's not chaos, it's not scrambling around. So that discipline with your location and having your things organized is going to help you again free up your business time. You're going to accomplish so much more during the time you have set aside for your business, that when you're done, you're not thinking, oh, I forgot to do this because it was here and not here, and I forgot to call this person because I didn't write it down here. You're going to sit down and be organized and disciplined and get your stuff done. And then when you can get up from your power hour, you can just enjoy the rest of your day or time with your family and not be thinking about all the things you forgot to do because you are disciplined with your work time. So don't let that be a negative thing. We're getting to the 30-minute point, so I'm going to wrap this up. But those are just some tips that I wanted to share with you guys on really taking control of your business and showing yourself, your family, and everybody around you that you are serious about making this happen. Because when they see how serious you are, that's when they'll take notice, and that's when they'll start considering joining you, because they want to see that you're going to stick it out and that you're not going to let them down. And if there's someone that's going to be really successful, they want to join under someone who has that mindset of being a CEO. So I hope you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you later. Bye, everybody.